What's going on, everyone? My name is Nicholas Merton here at Data Dash, and today is December 18th of 2020. Well, folks, I hope you are having a fantastic day wherever you are. And in today's video, I want to keep things relatively short, sweet, and to the point, and talk about a critical topic here, which is the sheer fact that what we're seeing right now in cryptocurrency markets, predominantly with Bitcoin, to be fair, is mainly an institutional wave of interest. Institutions know when to spot that initial spark of the next bull run a lot better than your average retail trader, but that's also a good point here. And the fact that we've not only got probably more institutional capital to come into the space, but along with that as well, we haven't even begun the retail wave, which plays another large role in driving up markets higher. So we're going to be talking about that and more. And also towards the end of the video, I'm doing an interview with my good friend Quentin Francois, who is the founder of Young and Investing, another great cryptocurrency YouTube channel you should go check out. So without further ado, guys, let's just go ahead and dive straight into the video. Over the last 24 hours, Bitcoin has been relatively neutral here. And taking a look over the last 24 hours for the broader market, we can see most plays here starting to charter into red territory, but still between the 1% to 2% range here between the upside or downside. Now, I want to go ahead and take a look at two quick time frames here for Bitcoin, give some kind of relatively short-term to mid-term price range analysis. Taking a look at the 1 hour chart here, we can see that Bitcoin has now started to formulate some significant lower highs here and also higher lows. We've set in our third one here. And it's going to be a question of whether or not we get some kind of major move going between the upside or downside here, or if we push sideways. That is always an option. It doesn't always have to happen with wedges. We've started to see that sometimes as well in the market, where there is really a good equilibrium between buyers and sellers in the market, or maybe there's not any major movers who are selling off or buying large positions on spot markets. But the critical thing I want to talk about here is kind of a worst case scenario, right? Things are extremely optimistic right now, and I'm so happy to see how things are optimistic. I've been averaging into crypto a lot as of recent, mainly into the altcoin market, to be fair. But at the same time, I'm betting on Bitcoin. I believe that we're going towards 100K, 200K. I have a little bit of a longer time frame than most people, though. That's probably my one thing that you would say is, I guess not per se bearish, but more kind of moderate or conservative in that case. But the critical thing I want to talk about is, again, that point, of just expecting the worst, right? So what is really like a worst case scenario? And in that worst case scenario, could it actually end up being something really good for cryptocurrency markets? Well, that worst case scenario is coming down, in my opinion, towards around 20K, or at least resting on the range here where we have the all-time highs. So this white line I have here on my chart, just to kind of demonstrate, make sure clearly to indicate what it is. It's the line coming across from the absolute highs back in December of 2017. And once we take that into consideration, we really understand what is the most critical support range, because this served as resistance here, it served as resistance here. And if you really just want to cut out the complication here, guys, there's so many people who overcomplicate technical analysis in crypto. The best case scenario would be a correction that, if we are going to pull back through this, on the 4 hour chart, it looks like we could actually get, if we get one or two more red candles, we'd break through this wedge and we'd start chartering downward. I would really love to see this full stop come down to 20K, or a little bit actually below 20K. And the reason for this is that we need to get a substantial correction in Bitcoin first and foremost. It is healthy, it attracts new capital, it sparks the next stages of the cycle, especially now that we've gone above the all-time highs. And second off, as we've talked about constantly here on the channel, we hit on the point time and time again that we need to see previous resistance become support. That is an ultimate sign that the market is ready for its next major leg up. This move here, and I want to drill this important point here overall, guys, because if you're like me and you see that 100K, 200K target for Bitcoin, if you see ETH going to, 4 digits again and going up to much higher levels, right, whatever it may be, if you see that happening, these short-term corrections are not what you're worried about. In fact, you'd want to see the signs of health that are going to solidify that, hey, what was resistance is the new base. Again, proving yet again that what we saw back in December of 2017 wasn't some speculative bubble. It wasn't tulips, just like in the previous Bitcoin cycle when Bitcoin topped out at 1100, just like when Bitcoin was peaking out at lower levels. It's just a bump in the road. It's a part of the overall process. And I'm not just trying to be this kind of neutral guru here, guys. I'm being realistic. This is like what you have to see in markets. This is what we've been watching in gold markets, for example. When gold markets broke above their all-time highs, we wanted to see gold generally holding around its resistance range. Let's just go ahead and take a look at gold here, just as an example, right? Now gold, interestingly enough, if you take a look at the weekly, let's see. So there's two key kind of resistant ranges here. Over here, around this range here, we set our all-time highs for gold, and down here we had set resistance 3 times, which led to the bear market. Well, what do you know? Institutions came in to buy within this range. It's really interesting. Perhaps, and just maybe, we might be seeing something similar with Bitcoin. Perhaps we could see a similar technical formation that gold has already gone through just a couple months ahead. And I have no doubt that even with a correction like this, as severe as it may be to some people who maybe just got in or are fearful of 10 or 20% dips, you have to understand that if you're in this market, that is not only normal, it is healthy. It really is. And if you really don't want to take that downside, sure, you can sell your positions fine. But I got to tell you guys, I have a lot of confidence in the fact that most people will not be able to trade it properly. The best thing to do in this case is to average in. Statistically speaking, averaging into dips, whether it's 20, 30, 40% downward movements, don't get too greedy. Don't expect it to go down 50, 60%. It's just not going to happen. But in that case, when you keep your estimations relatively conservative, you average in, and you don't try to trade the market where the vast majority of people are going to lose, you actually really come out on top as one of the best performers in the market, probably in the top 5% of supposed traders or investors. That's the big thing overall. It's just focusing, especially if you have a small position in crypto. In this case, continue focusing on building your cash flow and averaging in when you find discounts in the market. In the long term, in markets like Bitcoin and crypto as a whole, there's a lot of room for growth and a lot of multiples still to come in the sense of its valuation growth. Don't stress too much on these potential dips that could come up. But it's an important thing to watch out for so we can find those discounts to average in. It's what I'm doing. I'm not really trading this. My goal is to trade the broader cycles. And I apologize, just put my mic there. I'll go ahead and clarify this here. When I say that I trade the overall cycles, I want to be able to, again, trade hopefully from the bottom to the top of a cycle, again, not timing it perfectly, but again, having protection set as it get higher and higher and things get more parabolic and euphoric to take profit and buying back in at these dips and then riding the next wave up to the new all-time highs. And in this case, we're estimating for 100K, 200K. That should be the game plan. It's extremely simple. You're not day trading. You're not stressing. You're averaging in when you find discounts. It feels great. You're going shopping. It's like buying the thing that you love for like a 50%, or 40 or 30% discount, right? Whatever it may be, right? And in this case, it tends to be that with Bitcoin, you want to, especially when you're going through these earlier phases and even as you go throughout the normal cycle, corrections tend to be around anywhere from 25, 33%. It can vary, and it might be different this time around the cycle. Again, being a little bit less greedy than the others, taking a slightly lower discount in this case than something that might be maybe 30, 40, 50% might be the better option, so you don't miss out on that opportunity to average in at a discount. Now, the last thing I want to talk about here to build on this as well, as we talked about in the kind of intro of the video, is why this is really just the beginning overall. And even if we pull back to 20K, why it's not the end of the world. It's because we have not seen the wave of not only further institutional capital, we're just seeing the early signs of it. There are many other companies out there, many other hedge funds. I don't even have to say this knowing the inside truth. It's just what's going on. It's been constantly proven. We have more institutional capital coming, but we also have a wave of retail capital that hasn't even woken up. They're still asleep at the wheel. So if you're an average everyday investor and you're here, you're well ahead of the curve. You're part of the 1% of people focusing on this. And if we take a look here, there's 3 major charts here that Cointelegraph did a pretty good, simple, eloquent job of demonstrating here. So for example, this is tweet volume versus 30-day average tweet volume for Bitcoin. Nice spike here for sure. But generally speaking, I have no doubt after we have another couple days, it's going to kind of die down again and start to rough out. And it's still nowhere near where we had the highs in January. I would still say this is actually probably one of the best charts here to actually signal some kind of interest. But I think generally speaking, the crypto community for Twitter has really blown up. It's become the major platform. It's kind of consolidated over the last few years. The biggest things overall are Wikipedia and Google. Take a look at Wikipedia interest here. Practically nothing. Nowhere near what we saw back here at the end of December in 2017. Let's take a look here at Google trends. Right? Now we're taking a look, of course, at a shorter term time frame here, the past 12 months, but that's actually even more telling to the point here. You should see something at basically the way the Google Trends works in this case is it usually measures the peak point here where there was interest, and the lowest point of interest within a given period of time, right? And 100 is the top. In this case as well, you have some kind of range of interest at a lower range. Well, our peak was back here in late November. We're far away from that. And if you take a look at the longer term time frame, it's nothing close to where we're at in January 2018. And you can even try, like buying Bitcoin, trading Bitcoin, BTC USD, all these different things. Still nowhere near January 2018. So again, that's the key thing I want to talk to you guys about, which is that you are here early. Don't feel bad if you're buying into the market here at 22K and then it goes down to 20K, right? It's about a 10% pullback. It's not the end of the world. And above all, if you have some extra cash and you feel like you're more confident in Bitcoin, you can average some more. I know I'm going to be averaging more. I've got some fiat ready on standby. I was patient. I waited for this moment and stuff throughout the market and stuff where I've been building up my positions as the market has gained strength. We've been setting up for the next cycle. And it's been really, really exciting to, again, see the market doing what it's doing. And I think we're just at the start of it. So without further ado, I've rambled on enough today, guys. I'm going to keep things relatively short. That's the critical point to keep in mind, that short-term potential sell-off here. And it looks like we might actually be seeing that breakdown right now. But we'll see what happens. Might hold out. Let's go ahead and dive into that conversation with Quentin from Young and Investing. And we're going to be doing a giveaway of over $1,000 for those of you who stuck around. We're going to be giving a $1,000 giveaway to one of you out there. It's going to be a custom portfolio of certain cryptos that we put together in order to give to those of you in the holidays during a very, very rough year here in 2020. So let's go ahead and dive into the conversation. Alrighty, everyone. So in today's video, we have the special opportunity of sitting down with one of my good friends in the crypto space, one of my best friends overall in the content creator space for cryptocurrencies, and that is Quentin Francois from Young and Investing. Quentin, thanks so much for making the time, man. I'm really excited to have you here today. We're going to be kind of catching up on the last year, talking about what we're looking forward to in the crypto space, as well as talking about a giveaway we're both participating in for over $1,000 to the community. So Quentin, thanks for making the time, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, same to you, Nicholas. Thank you for making the time. I think we're going to do something very cool today, so I'm very much looking forward to what we make from it today.
Absolutely, man. So I want to start off kind of simple, man. Like, first off, how have you been? Like, I know we've been catching up as of recent, but I haven't gotten to get a full picture as to what your world's looking like right now, because crypto markets are crazy. I know you published your book a couple months back. You've had a lot of great success with that, over 800 copies sold, man, which is absolutely incredible, especially seeing as it's written in Dutch and stuff. It's a much smaller audience in that case. So I'm just really happy to hear that that's been going well. But what's going on, generally speaking, like for you?
Yeah, this year was not too easy, I think, for no one. But I moved in the beginning of the year actually to the Netherlands, and that was just a few weeks before the lockdown. And that was actually a pretty hard time, I must admit, because we were here. I moved here with my girlfriend, and we were just here for a few weeks, and the borders closed, so we weren't able to see family or friends anymore, and we didn't see them for nearly 3 months. So we were 24/7 together here, between the same four walls, no family, no friends. So that was a pretty hard time. So yeah, I didn't like that, obviously. So it wasn't a very cool year. Also, we weren't able to do a lot here at the new place where we live. But yeah, it is what it is, of course. I'm very happy that I was able to continue working, because some people weren't able to. And I think that's also very important for your well-being, to be able to continue working. So luckily for crypto, it was a good year. So that's the most important thing for us, I think. That's the only thing that we need to remember from this year. And yeah, I think like in 2020 was amazing, crypto wise, for me personally as well. I have the book here with me. I'm going to show it very quickly. It is in Dutch, so I wrote that actually during 2019 already, and then starting the entire process with the publisher at the end of 2019 and throughout 2020. So it got released. It got published at the end of September, so it's only a few months that it's out right now. And yeah, already 800 copies sold, and of course that's for only a Dutch book. So we're thinking about to translate it to English, so more people can read it, can learn from it. I think that is, of course, the most important thing, because I'm not getting rich from writing a book, but I really would just want to do it to educate people, and yeah, to to spread the word about crypto. So basically, that was my year in a nutshell. These are the most important things that happened in my life this year. But yeah, you've also been doing like very cool stuff this year. So building Digifox, which is going amazingly well. Congrats for that. Maybe you should also talk about how your year was, how it's going with Digifox, etc.
Yeah, man. Well, first off, I think overall, Quentin, as you were joking about, so I know we talked about it before. Like overall, with like something like a book, I think it's one of the best things you can do to reach as many people as possible. But it's definitely, as you mentioned, it's not like really focused around making some big amount of money and stuff overall. And I think that's so cool, dude. Like I've always gotten the feeling like when I watch your content and stuff, it's always about just like spreading the word, giving people good information, getting started in crypto. So I mean, hats off to you, man. Especially in just like the Dutch-based community and stuff to be able to reach that many copies. And I know some of you guys watching and stuff are from the Netherlands if you're watching from my channel. So please go check out Quentin's channel as well as his book. But yeah,
Link
I
in the
mean,
description for the book as well.
yeah, exactly. I'll have a link down below for it and stuff as well as to Quentin's channel. But I mean, overall, like, the year's gone, I would say for me, as much as it's been very hectic in the sense of work, it at the same time has been a really great year in some ways. I've gotten to meet my girlfriend at the time. I've been able to launch Digifox. I've had some things that, of course, have definitely been like life-changing in a lot of regards that have been positive. But also there was a lot of challenging times. We were split up during the lockdown. And along with that as well, our team has been entirely remote for Digifox. So it's been an interesting challenge to adapt to it. I'm someone who likes to be like, and I'm not really, an introvert or extrovert, but I like to have that kind of like setting where everyone can be together. I like, the idea of just being able to go around and stuff. I think it's a very American thing to want to like travel or go around and stuff like that. But I miss a lot of the crypto space overall, I would say above all. But honestly, I can't complain overall. It's been a really, really big year for growth in that case. And above all, I'm just really excited to see what the future holds. I think, as you mentioned, Quentin, it's kind of a light at the end of the tunnel when we're seeing Bitcoin at 23K and all these levels. I mean, it's insane, man. I even, I had to humbly like share on my YouTube channel and on Twitter that I was expecting this would happen in January.
I
And
think a lot of people, by the way, I think most
yeah.
people expect it to only happen in January. But I mean, like, to break it this way, I mean, like it went to 23,800 earlier today. I mean, that's insane. That's breaking it in a very convenient way. So yeah, to be fair, I was also very surprised about that because yeah, I also thought it would take at least until like January or maybe even later. But the better, of course, that it's doing it right now, right?
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I think, the one thing that we did say, like whether it was on the channel or on like our newsletter, the Dash Report, the one thing that we always kind of pressed was this idea that, even though we were set kind of on January being the month where it would happen, so we're a little bit off on that. I've been holding that conviction for a couple months now. The major thing that we did say is that you're not going to be dealing too much with, if we look at history, for example, in the time period from where you had the bottom of the bear market to retesting the all-time highs, if you compare the last cycle to this one, I even said very confidently, we are not going to contest or go sideways as much as we did last time because there right now is too much like institutional FOMO and people don't really, I don't think they see it to the full degree because you see like the headlines, for example, Ruffer came out the other day, major UK and London-based firm coming out with a 2.5% allocation to Bitcoin. We had this major hedge fund manager being backed by a legacy investor that has over $1 billion net worth investing in crypto. All these things are coming out, but it's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to really what's going on because this stuff, as MicroStrategy came out openly saying, as well as Square, when they made their large Bitcoin purchases, it takes about a year to get any of this done. So it means that they were thinking about this a year ago before we were even at the all-time highs. What kind of companies right now are in the process of finalizing that buy? And
It's
how much
insane.
more eager are they going to get to buy it now that they've seen that they've broken past the all-time highs? So that's my thought process overall. It's going to be more than anything that this is going to be, I think, a more slow and steady climb up towards 100K or 200K over the next couple of years until late 2022. And in that manner, it's the reason why these big buy orders aren't just going to push it up to 100K or 200K overnight is because you're dealing with a much larger market, so you need much more liquidity. So overall, I think it's going to be a nice, steady pace bull run overall.
Yeah, I think so too. And I mean, like, there's still a discussion going on whether this cycle will take 4 years or maybe 5 years. I hear you say like the end of 2022. I see like more and more voices saying that it will be the end of 2021 to reach a peak anyway. So it's 4 years then. And I actually must say that I'm also, I mean, like normally I thought like it would be like the half of 2022, but I'm also more towards the end of 2021 right now, because if you just look at the cycles, if you compare them, every stage is perfectly in time to reach a peak at the end of 2021. I would be surprised if like there would be suddenly a year extra between this stage and then the peak, you know? So yeah, I think that will be very interesting to see when exactly we're going to reach these prices. Yeah, I actually I actually think right now that we're going to see it rather at the end of 2021. But of course, that's a good thing for discussion.
Well, man, we'll have to keep track of it and stuff as it goes and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm not completely negating the fact it could go there and stuff because I mean we've seen crypto like you know what I always think back to that was I think the biggest shocker for all of us, and I happened actually to be in the Netherlands when it happened, was when Bitcoin came off of its bottom at 3K when we were like at the absolute rock bottom of the bear market, and it started to kind of go up a little bit, but it was still trending just in like the upper 3,000 range, and then it just popped and it went up to like 4K, 5K, 6K, 7K within like just a couple of days. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And then after that, it just kept climbing slightly higher. And then it did another secondary rally and went all the way up to 14K in a matter of pretty much, I think it was less than 6 months. So to me, man, I don't doubt your judgment at all on it. It could very well be that way. I'm curious to see if we'll keep exactly in line with the stock to flow model, if we have a slight delay like we had in the last cycle. But overall, man, it's an exciting time. Like the major thing I emphasize to
definitely.
people is like, we have these different time frames and we can analyze it in unique ways. But the thing that I always take into mind is like, it's a matter of like, look, like what market are you positioning yourself in for the next year, 2 years? And I mean, crypto is overwhelming, whether you've been in Bitcoin or altcoins. It's been the market to be in this year. And I think it's going to continue to be that way in 2021. And, equities were already at their all-time highs for multiple periods of time over the last couple of years after breaking past the all-time highs. And outside of that as well, gold, silver, not really getting much traction right now in the world of, considering central bank monetary policy and the way the world's going. So I think crypto is going to be where it's at, man. There's so much exciting things going on. DeFi, Bitcoin being seen as a new institutional asset. And along with that as well, enterprise blockchain, oracles, the whole space is really starting to mature. I mean, just taking a look back from 2017, how
It's
projects
crazy.
operate and raise, it's such a world of difference, man.
Yeah, it's awesome to see the developments right now. Indeed, like in the niches that you mentioned, like DeFi. I mean, like last year it was only at around like just over a year ago at 10 million. Right now at 15 billion, and it's of course dominated by Ethereum. So I'm also surprised about how Ethereum was able to keep that leading position for as a blockchain platform, because like many people said, like yeah, it's not scalable, it's too expensive, this and that. But then overall you still see like 80% of all developer activities happening there, 85% of or almost 85% of all dapps is built on Ethereum. Entire DeFi is happening on Ethereum. Ethereum 2.0 right now got launched earlier this month. So also happy to see like the progress of Ethereum, and to see like that blockchain will become usable on the big scale for the biggest network, which is Ethereum, and with the help of oracles, like you also mentioned, like with the help of Chainlink. I think this is definitely going to be a good year 2021 for blockchain adoption, in general 2022 as well, and of course further on. But it's amazing to see like development from 2017, where it was all a bit more complicated, a bit more difficult to
White
use
papers.
blockchain. Yeah, a lot of white papers, a lot of Ethereum killers. Nobody was able to kill Ethereum so far. So yeah, I mean, like Polkadot is an exciting project, I must say, but I still think it won't be able to
Yeah.
do any harm to the Ethereum position right now.
That's the problem is, with especially with DeFi, it's a great like example of the phenomena where no matter how great your blockchain is, it's the same with traditional like internet protocols. There were other competing protocols in the world that that go against the ones we use today for a lot of different technologies. It's no matter which one gets network of scale in this case, basically, or markets of scale in this case, where it builds up its own unique network. And overall, I mean, Ethereum has done that. It's been remaining as the second largest crypto for a long period of time. They have the biggest developer ecosystem, and that's their biggest leverage point. Now,
Definitely.
again, if you can have a protocol that really finds some way to market and get a lot of new developers coming in, like Polkadot or something like EOS, yeah, maybe it could happen. I really don't think it so much falls in the tech. And with ETH coming to ETH 2.0, as well as in the meantime buying some time with layer 2 scaling, such as
Hmm.
Optimism or ZK rollups, all of these are going to be able to offer the ability to offset a lot of that network transaction activity, and it's going to bring down costs dramatically. It's something we're exploring at Digifox as we just got up, I think the other day, we broke to around like 13, 14,000 users. So like with the new
Congrats for that,
Digifox,
man.
thank
That's
you, man.
amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it speaks more than anything that like DeFi is here to stay. People are excited about it. People want to get this yield. They want to put their assets to work. They want to buy through decentralized exchanges. And seeing like how Uniswap, like which we use within the app, is doing like more volume in some days than Coinbase. I mean, this is a game changer in the crypto space overall. It's really got centralized exchanges rethinking how they want to do their business model. So yeah, man, I'm very excited to see how things go overall. And I know Quentin as well. I know a lot of people are probably waiting for it as well to talk a little bit about our giveaway. So if you want, I can
Definitely.
basically, I'll go ahead and just kind of share the details with you all. So, as Quentin mentioned earlier, and what I can emphasize as well is that we know a lot of you guys out there are not only excited about the upcoming bull run in the cryptocurrency market, but along with that as well, it's been a tough year. Like, let's be honest, like generally speaking, whether some people have done well, mainly people, have been working in the tech sector and crypto and a lot of other areas. Or, if you've been really hard hit, maybe many of you own a small business or have a family member who got affected by COVID or some other kind of like, tragedy in that case. We get it. We're all, Quentin and I are really big about community. So what we wanted to do here today is commit to giving a giveaway. We're going to split between the two of us and stuff to one individual as well as three follow-up individuals. So we're going to be giving away $1,000 crypto portfolio that we crafted together. That's going to have, in this case, if I'm remember, correct me if I'm wrong, Quentin, I think it's about 40% Bitcoin, 20% Ethereum, 20% Chainlink, and 20% Uni. And
Exactly.
there's one user who's going to be able to get this out there, and there's also three other follow-up people who are going to get $50 worth of Bitcoin. So the way that we're thinking about doing this is we just have three simple rules. We don't want to ask them much. Basically, we just want you guys to subscribe to both of our channels. So if you're from my channel or from Quentin's channel, I mean, the only reason we're doing this is because we're great friends and stuff. We love each other's content. I find myself watching Quentin when I can, and Quentin follows me as well sometimes. And the other thing as well that we ask is that you leave a comment on either of our channels. You can leave it actually on both to double your chances of winning, where you just basically share something that you're looking forward to in 2021. We got to stay optimistic, looking forward to the next year. And within that comment as well, the third final rule is just to paste your Digifox address. So in this case, if you can go to the Digifox website, it's digifox.finance. You can find a link to the iOS or Android version through the Apple Store, Google Play Store. Download the app, give it a try, set up a Celsius account, and from there you'll get an address, and we'll be able to hopefully give you a chance to win big, in this case during the holidays. But again, above all, like we're really excited just to help you guys, and we want to thank you for the constant support you've given us. It's a way we're giving it back out of our own personal money. We just want to hopefully help someone out there make that easier step towards building their crypto portfolio for the holidays and looking forward into the bull cycle going into 2021 and 2022.
Yeah, and I really just hope that that someone wins who just has like a small portfolio. I really just hope that it makes a difference, that not someone wins with 100K portfolio or something.
Yeah.
We just really want to have like a positive impact on someone's life with this giveaway. And of course, you have like three follow-up winners as well with each $50. So that's also nice, I guess. But yeah, like Nicholas mentioned, I will also put it on my channel. I will put it in the description, the link to Digifox, where you can download it, install it, and then paste your ID of Digifox in the comment section of both of our videos, so you can have like two chances to win. So that's very cool. And yeah, then you can win like $1,000, $400 Bitcoin, $200 Ethereum, $200 Chainlink, and $200 Uniswap as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to clarify, in case you guys are curious about like your Digifox ID, it's basically your username. And if you run into any issues trying to set up your Celsius account, we have customer support built natively in the app and stuff. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us there and we'll try to get back as soon as possible on it. But I mean, overall, like Quinn, like, dude, this has been a pretty wild year already. I think especially we've been kind of on top of tracking a lot of the key new wave kind of sectors such as DeFi and oracles and enterprise blockchain. And I'm really excited to see what 2022, or excuse me, 2021 is going to hold in this case. I think the new year is going to be pretty exciting. And man, we got to do more conversations like this. Maybe we'll come up with some like
Definitely.
interesting kind of deep dive topics to go over and maybe talk about some of the projects we're interested in and what we're looking to invest in overall.
Would be nice. I mean, like maybe in 2021, we're going to see like new hot niches within crypto, like we had oracles, like we had like DeFi this year. So I think 2021 will be definitely interesting for and actually for different things within crypto. So very much looking forward. Also, we are going to announce the winner of this giveaway on Twitter on Christmas Day, because I wanted to give it like we wanted to give it like a Christmas present. So will be announced on Twitter. I guess probably on Nicholas his Twitter. Of course, I will share it as well. So we will share it there on Christmas Day. So you have a few days to participate. Exactly 1 week, I guess it is, until Christmas.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's getting so close, but yeah, it's coming up here and stuff a little. I guess it's a little over a week here. So if you guys again just participate in the basic 3 rules and stuff, you can participate in the giveaway. And we're happy above all that you guys are here, whether you win or not. I hope you all have a fantastic holiday season. Get to enjoy it with your family, your friends, and again, watch the charts, but at the same time, take some time off. Don't stress about it too much. Crypto is here to stay, as I think we've already proven. I think more than anything, what we saw with Bitcoin breaking through 20K is not only a moment that we were waiting for a long period of time, but along with that as well, that what we saw back in 2017, it wasn't a bubble. It was a bump in the road. So we're just getting started in this journey, guys. So if you're just getting into crypto as well, it's not a bad time to be here. All right. So anyways, no, guys, thank you all for tuning in and joining us with us. Quentin, thank you for making the time, man. I really appreciate it. It's always great getting to chat with you, man. It's a privilege, and we'll talk soon sometime.
Definitely. And thank you also for being on my channel, because of course it will be posted on both channels. So also thank you for your time, Nicholas. I know you're busy with Digifox, and all the best for Digifox in 2021. I'm sure it will be a huge success because it's top of the notch quality. So I'm sure that quality will also overcome and always will win in the end. So pretty sure
Thank
about
you,
that as
man.
well.
Same to you on your book and everything, Quentin. Keep up the
Thank you.
fantastic work, man. I appreciate it.